Welcome friends to this battle of the junk shop pickups. Long story short, I accidentally bought these two cameras in Norway. Short story long, down in the comments. The contenders are the Ensign Ful-Vue II with a fixed f11 lens and 1/30th of a second shutter speed, as well as T-mode. It has a solid pressed steel body, a waist level viewfinder, and readily takes 120 film. It can also focus from 2 feet to infinity, but for this I'm just going to leave it at infinity because it's much safer. And the other contender is the Brownie Kodak, and the other contender is the Kodak Brownie Starlet camera. Now this has 2 aperture settings called color and black and white. It also says next to them 13 and 14, but that seems like such a weird combination of apertures so close to each other. Either way, I'm going to put it on 13 color mode because that's probably closest to what the Ensign Ful-Vue has to get a sort of similar result. It has a fixed shutter speed of probably around 1/30th to 1/50th of a second. Honestly, I couldn't find any solid information, but most box cameras have that sort of shutter speed. Also interestingly, it protects against double exposures. I can't take a photo until I've wound on to the next frame, which is quite a weird thing to have on such a simple camera, I feel like. Now this one, however, takes 127 film. Recently, while based in the UK for a few months, I was using Analog Wonderland Lab, and I found that they sold, developed and scanned 127 film. So I grabbed a roll of Rera Pan 400, a film made by Kawauso Shoten in Japan and sold through Analog Wonderland in the UK. For the Ful-Vue camera, I decided to go with Ilford's HP5 as it was the easiest 400 speed film that I could get at the time. They are both square format, which means they will both give 12 shots on a roll. And I think that's probably enough talking, so let's go outside and take some pictures. Cut. What is this lens? Where's all the contrast at? Might not be fair to this comparison, if you can call the video that, but let's try and sort it out. First off, let's set the tone curve in and out points correctly. Then maybe bring the exposure down a tiny bit, and we're going to whack that dehaze slider all the way up there, plus a tasteful amount of clarity, and finally a bit of punch to the highlights end of things. Much better. Don't be scared to edit your negatives, kids. Alright, back to the video. Well, they were maybe a touch overexposed. Because of the very closed aperture, I decided to buy a high-speed film, but they have a very slow shutter speed. So on a sunny day like this, they actually ended up about 2.5 stops overexposed. Exposure triangle, guys, it's very important. Other than that, the 1/30th of a second shutter speed was maybe a little bit too slow, so there was a lot of motion blur in quite a lot of the photos. So the question is, am I disappointed with the results? And the answer is, no. They cost me $5 each, they're very cute little decoration pieces, and I'm sure a lot of you, quite enjoy from time to time the very lo-fi aspect of film photography. So my takeaway is, or in fact your takeaway should be, pick up that cheap, crappy plastic, or in this case pressed steel, box camera from the local junk shop and just have some fun, because that's also part of all of this. Yeah. Thanks for watching.